Welcome back, folks. Welcome and thank you for tuning in to the Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. And if you are a first time viewer, I guess it's not welcome back. It's thank you for finding the show. This is a post fight recap of the Top Rank on ESPN. Pretty decent card, but just like we discussed in the breakdown, Alex Saucedo and Lenny Z. I told you guys we're going to steal the show. Now, that was a very, very hard prediction for me to make. I was going both ways. I ended up getting it wrong. I thought Lenny Z will survive cuts and stuff and catch Alex in the late rounds. You know, I said I was going by mom. Is Alex going to use his jab, keep him on the outside? Is Lenny going to catch him because they both get hit? I'm all pretending at the last minute. I was like, wait a minute, Lenny gets cut. He might get cut and the fight's going to ruin. And sure enough, everything I predicted in that fight happened. Those guys beat the shit out of each other. But my final prediction was Lenny was going to get cut, but I still went with him to stop Alex in the late rounds, and I got it wrong. You know. So that one, but that fight, between that and Jonah Corral and Declan Gagarthia, those are some good ass fights today. Beat the shit out of each other fights. What can you say about Alex and Lenny? No defense, right? Just hook, just beat the hell out of each other's heads, hook after hook after hook. Lenny's poor face, man. His eye. They say he announced his retirement because he was honest. He's like, I don't know, how far can I go in this business? I cut easy, it's kind of hard to do good in the big fights that I want when I'm a cutter. So, because the dude has cracks. He has pop. Crap, he has defense, but he just cuts, and when he swells back. His left eye was like fucking some Hollywood alienation. It was swollen bad. It was like a fucking plum. His eye was a fucking plum. It was purple too. It was just a fucking plum on his eye. He had cuts underneath both eyes. One eye was right eye had a cut underneath it, a cut over it, bleeding bad. Like I said, in the first rounds, I believe in the second round, Alex dropped Lenny in the middle of an exchange. No, in the third round, he dropped Lenny in the middle of exchange. And in the fourth round, Lenny Z just came back and beat the shit out of Alex. I gave it a 10-8 round because he just beat the shit out of him. I even gave the third round a 10-9 round, even though Lenny got dropped because he was winning that round until he got caught in the middle of the exchange. And then even after he got up, I felt he did good enough to get that point back. I gave that one a 10-8. But after the fourth round, Ebu Sanchez was like, "Hey, yo, man, use your fucking jab," and that's what saved Alex because he just kept keeping his distance, just jabbing him, and was able to fuck up those cuts more. And the blood was just going all in his eyes, his face. Usually boxers go like this. He was like palm with both hands. Like I can't see. And the jabs were just fucking his face up, and then it's blinding him. And Alex was just able to come straight down the middle with the right hand. End up stopping it in the. I think the Lenny Z stopped it like in the seventh round. His corner just stopped like, hey, that's enough. Our fighter can't see. So that was a pretty damn good fight, though. Where does Alex go from here? Bob Arum straight said he's the mandatory. His next fight is going to be with Maurice Hooker. So we'll see what that does. Maurice Hooker, see if he goes in that championship tournament. If I was Hooker, I'd go in that tournament. I wouldn't stop. All the belts are in that tournament. Who the hell is Alex? Alex is just one fight. You win all those fights, man. You get $50 million and all those belts, man. And then the other fight in between, because this was a homecoming fight for Alex Saucedo. He's Oklahoma City. They fought in Oklahoma City, and then the co-main event was a 7-0 the Brazilian Olympian Robson Conceicao. He had his way with who was his name, Gavina Guamin. I guess the big story about this guy, besides his Brazilian medal, is in a world boxing some type of series. He beat Lomachenko, and then the next morning the decision was reversed and he lost to Lomachenko. So he wants that rematch with Lomachenko as a professional. They're both signed to Top Rank. If this guy gets enough fan base, it'll be a good story. It could be a nice fight. Like I said, his punches look long and crisp. His combination is good. He's tall, he's muscular, lanky. Punches a little wide, but he doesn't waste punches. His punches are good and fierce. He was hitting Guamin, and it was like giving him late reactions, and also he just fall. He's knocked him down like 4 times. On the last one, he did a quarter on the left and blast him with the overhand right. The dude just that was the 4th one. He fell. That's when his arm went back and he tried to get up. He finally got up. The ref was gonna let him continue fighting. The dude got up like at 9, stumbled on the ropes. He's all. The ref was gonna let him fight until he stumbled to the left. The ref was like, all right, fight's over. So that was my first time seeing Robson Conceicao. And then we move on to the main event. This was, like I said, this whole card. I only predicted the Alex and Lenny Z and the main event. Gilberto and Angulo. Angulo was a little, like I said, he was hard to make a prediction on it because Angulo, not much footage. I couldn't find much footage of him on YouTube. So he's a little, like even Tim Bradley said, okay, he's a little craftier than what I thought, which is true, but his slow pace in and out, one punch at a time, gave really nothing, no threat, no action to Gilberto, but the punches he were landing were some hard-ass shots. One at a time, never really no threat. Now, if he could have followed some of those shots up, like I said, I gave Angulo actually the first round and the 3rd round. He hit some. I thought, and did they talk about he gave round 7? He had one good shot in round 7, and I thought he just got outworked by a jab. And this more of this whole fight was Zurdo's jab. Zurdo's jab just being more action of the fight. There was nothing. Zurdo got hurt more than Angulo did in this fight. Angulo stunned the shit out of Zurdo about 3 to 4 times. But he just couldn't follow up because he only hit like one at a time. While Zurdo, he just was more active, more action. More activity, I should say, with his jab. The movement in the 7th round, when he really picked up, he started moving his feet and started really picking them apart from the outside. Angulo couldn't do nothing once Zurdo used his feet. The crowd was kind of like, not a heavy boo, but it was getting restless. You could tell they wanted more action. I said between the first fight, Lenny Z, and then Conceicao, knocking Homeboy down 4 times in the second fight. And I said Angulo had a very hypnotizing, slow style. Very, very slow. But he would do some awkward movement and just throw a hard-ass right hand out of nowhere. And it was fucking Gilberto up. But overall, it was an entertaining night of boxing to that fight. What fights can he get? Not much. He wants the big names. I don't think he's going to get them. Gilberto ain't going to get those big names. The Groves, Callum Smith, they're tied up. DeGale. I don't know. DeGale. If DeGale fights Gilberto, it's over. Gilberto's gonna whoop his ass, I think. And then Benavidez. Bob Arum tried to get that fight with Benavidez, but there's something with the lawsuit, so that the contract signature couldn't stand. So, I still think Gilberto Rameriz is good. I just think the hypnotizing slow style of Angulo just threw him off. There was nothing fancy about him, nothing fancy at all. He second guessed himself for no reason, I think. And he felt that power though, like, oh shit, I can't rush into this dude. But it was a good fight, good fight. Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr. A. Thank you for tuning in.